Speech mode talk. Speech mode beeps.
Okay. We've done
Speech
it.
mode talk. Speech mode off.
We finished the Advent of Cyber 2023. I'm going to now fill in the final question, and that should give us the badge, hopefully. We did manage to get the quest. The flag for the last question was THM brace you meddling kids with YMK capitalized. The end. Here's the survey that we had to complete. I've already done it. And I'm gonna fill in the flag here, which is THM brace survey complete. Survey complete is 2 words with capital S, capital C, and then underscore and small. Underscore holidays saved with capital H, capital S, without anything in between. And with that, boom. Congratulations, you're completed the room. Share this with your friends. The share award badge link, yep, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. Share this with your friends. Can I just get a link? No. Share awarded badge. Doesn't really matter. Click the LinkedIn one. It goes to a place. I'm going to copy this link out and we'll take it from there. Anyway. That's not the idea of this video. I wanted to show this off because I want to show that because in spite of what I'm about to say, it is possible to complete the room, as you see. I'm fully blind and I did not get any sighted help or any other person helping me apart from the video content that was already there for it. So this room is complete. And now I get to a lot because there's really a lot I have to say about the tasks that we have here. Out of 24 tasks, I would say that 10, so almost half, were practically undoable for a screen reader user at the moment. This has to do with several things. I made a couple notes here. I'm going to quickly grab them. We're going to look at them if we need to go into them any further, but here's my list. Let's see where they went. People who can see the speech viewer can see all my windows scrolling by. Anyway, yeah, I said 14 passes, 10 fails, and I was lenient because I did count the ones where I had to turn SSH on the machine as a pass, and I technically shouldn't have done that because that already requires a familiarity with assistive technology tools that a lot of people will not have, which is unfortunate, but the truth of the matter, and they really weren't necessary. If you look at some of the videos that I've done on this playlist, you can see that it takes me a couple of minutes to do. So if I can do it in 5 minutes, really, is it that much of a problem to just have it on by default? What I'm referring to here is the fact that SSH is often running on these machines, but it's not accepting logins. It's only accepting logins with a certain key, a certain public key. So what I have to do is I have to go in using OCR, which is a screen reader feature that makes a screenshot of the screen and then makes that essentially... We did OCR in one of the tasks, actually. It sort of scans the text from the image, and then you can click where the screen reader thinks the text is. And doing that lets you rudimentarily control the in-browser machine. It's very bad, and it doesn't work very well, but it can be done in a pinch, and that is what I did. I had to essentially double-click on the terminal, memorize the keystrokes required to turn SSH on, which is basically go into the home folder, delete.ssh/authorized_keys, make a new version of that file, and then paste in my own public key, and then it would work. And there is no reason whatsoever for any of these tasks for that to not be a thing by default. Like, I would understand if the idea is to achieve SSH, and that's what the goal of the room, but that wasn't the goal in this case. Literally the only reason it wasn't on is because it wasn't on. And you could have easily turned it on and made a lot of people a lot happier. So that is definitely the first thing I'm going to flag. If you have SSH running, you may as well make it user accessible. It makes everybody a lot happier. Okay. like I said, 10 failures. The first one is day 2. Jupyter not exposed is my note, and it's very easy to explain that. Basically, like I said, if we have to use the in-browser VM, we have to use OCR. That's the only way to control it, because the screen reader can only read its own screen. It doesn't actually really read the screen, it reads the operating system it's running in, and that pretty much stops as soon as you go into a VM, or you're controlling something remotely, or you just have essentially a canvas in your web page that shows what another computer is doing, but it's not actually being added to what's called the document object model, which means that we can't actually see what's happening on the page. So what's happening there is that in the in-browser machine is exactly that problem. It is its own machine, so if you were to want that accessibly, we would need to turn on a screen reader in the actual machine, and now that is possible. There is a screen reader for Linux called Orca, which you could use in this case. The problem with this particular machine and TryHackMe, and I'm pretty sure it's true for all Linux machines, is that one, there's no audio support that's properly working that I could find. I could hear the pings. I could, if I hit backspace in the machine, it does ping, so there is some kind of sound support. I'm not sure if that would also work for the actual output of programs, or if that's just the ping and that's happening on the browser level. But the first thing we would need to make sure is that audio works on the VMs, and the second thing is to do is make sure that the screen reader is enabled, or not necessarily enabled, because that would drive everybody crazy, but enableable, let's say. So it needs to be installed, the voice needs to be, the speech synthesizer needs to be installed, and this is, for as far as I'm aware, already true for most like Debian and Ubuntu variants. So I'm honestly not sure why it's not working on these machines. Something broke. Maybe they just pruned it and it made it smaller. But in doing that, they've made this entire thing inaccessible. The problem here is that Jupyter, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, Jupyter is a server. We found this out in the second time it's used in the machine learning tasks. Jupyter can be exposed to the internet. The only thing you have to do is make sure that the password is off, or the password is known. So all people would have to do for this particular task, it's day 2. I'll quickly bring it up here. Let me see here. That was task 2. Let me scroll up. Excuse me. Okay, scroll up. So that was task 2, this one. The log analysis one. This one is completely doable, provided you can access Jupyter, which you can't if it's locked in this VM. So all that would need to happen, and I've actually done this in the second Jupyter thing, is either get rid of the password, that's what I did, or just make the password known. That way you can just click, go to surf to the URL. I'm pretty sure it's even running on port 80, so you don't even have to give a specific port, but you can change it if you want. And then the user can log in and work from their own browser. Again, bring your own tools. This is important because people need to be able to work in the environment that they're used to, and that they can work and that they can make accessible in this case. Otherwise, you're stopping people from doing the task, and that's not good. All right, so the next couple of tasks were fine. Going down to task number 5, inaccessible DOS box. Now, this one I'll give a bit of a pass on because there is no easy way to make DOS accessible. There are screen readers for DOS. There are definitely screen readers for DOS, but it was a different time then. You didn't really have general availability for DOS box for screen readers, so you'd have to go find them, and I will admit that that is tricky to do. So in that sense, if you're going to use DOS, maybe what you could have done is simulate it and then just have a command line that is accessible for everyone, but I understand that this is a tricky one, so not much more to say about that one. This was just a tricky one. Same goes for the next one up to a point. The next one was an inaccessible game. I'd like to think that we could have made this accessible. Wouldn't have been easy, and it's a reskin of the game that we saw last year. I'm relatively sure, and it wasn't accessible then either. But it's the same problem. This doesn't write to the DOM, to the DOM. So the screen readers have no idea what's happening in the game. Neither the text content nor the map. So this game is just a non-starter. You can't do it. So So that's a problem. I don't know if it's an easily solvable problem, but it's a problem because people literally get stuck. They get blocked. They cannot do this task. And that's a crying shame because it's a fun one. Next one is task number 8, day number 8, disk forensics. That was honestly an annoying one because really that's the same problem as the Linux-based one. Windows, for some reason, doesn't have audio on these machines. Windows has a built-in screen reader. It doesn't even need to be installed, but it doesn't have audio on the TryHackMe machines, not even over RDP. And I don't know why this is, but it's extremely inconvenient because if it did have audio, you could use the built-in narrator screen reader to get at least rudimentary access. It wouldn't be great, but it would work. And I'm pretty sure Hack the Box does this, so hey, the competitor is doing, why aren't you? Please make that work. Like, there's a lot of Windows machines that don't have audio, and that would work perfectly fine. You could do the task perfectly well with the built-in narrator screen reader that's in Windows. It's already there for you to use. You can turn it on. I've tried it. It works fine, but it doesn't give audio, so blind people can't use it because there's no audio device. Please fix that. It's literally like one change in the entire configuration. All right. That one's going to come up a couple times. Namely the next one over, day 9, at the same thing. That's why I started ranting. That was the malware analysis. She sells C# shells by the C2 shore. Same deal. I don't remember what the tool is called that we use here, but it's exactly, it would have probably worked relatively well on the machine had narrator worked. Another one for this and a couple of other ones, and I'm not going to repeat it because I'm sure you can figure it out, but this one, and I show this off in the video for this task, this one could have easily been a lot easier if you just made the files downloadable. This is a really small executable. You could have just easily, it's a defanged file, it's a defanged malware. It has non-existent URL, so don't give me anything about it being insecure. It wouldn't be because this isn't actually malware. Just put the defanged sample up for download. Let people use their own tools, their own machines, use their own VMs. At that point, it would have been fully accessible, and it wasn't. In this case, it was completely undoable because it was locked into this VM. It made it completely undoable for people who use the screen reader and various other things as well. So please, like, if you have files that you're working with, consider just putting them up for download next to the machine. That way users can use the machine if they want to, and more importantly, can't if they don't want to, which is really important for this kind of thing. All right, let's see what else we got. Number 11. Inaccessible VM is my node. Let's have a look at number 11. I don't remember which one that was. Oh, Active Directory, Jingle Bells, Shadow Spells. Yep, that one. That whole entire machine ran in, that whole entire task ran in PowerShell on the VM. Again, you could have probably used Evil WinRM to get into this with the SSH, but that's not the point. Users wouldn't have known about that, so please just make the thing talk, in a sense that give it audio, in that sense that you can really just change all these VMs to have audio, and suddenly, like, 60% of the currently inaccessible tasks on the Windows platform, particularly Windows 10 and 8 and 11, would become instantly almost entirely doable. If it wouldn't be doable at that point, it wouldn't be your fault because it would just be inaccessible applications, and that's something you can't fix, but you can do this. So yeah, that's my rant for that one. Let's see what else we got. Number 11, we go to number 15. Inaccessible Jupyter, same deal. I fixed it in that one by essentially brute forcing it so I could see the Jupyter in my own browser. And again, that led into some problems with the CSV file, but that's again not your fault. That's a Jupyter problem. But I could access it using a browser. That worked fine once I had it figured out, which was literally just removing the JSON and help the password because I didn't know what the password was. You could have saved me an hour of time by just giving me the password. Okay, next one. So Jupyter twice. And yes, it could be fixed, but I shouldn't have to fix it, guys. Come on. You guys have the source code. It takes 2 minutes to not have this happen. Inaccessible CAPTCHA, the next one. Yeah, okay, that wasn't actually a funny one. So we have a machine learning model to do CAPTCHAs, and that's fine, but blind people can't do CAPTCHAs. So what happened in the end was screen reader user runs into this login page where we have the right results, we have the right credentials, But even though we know what the password is, we can't log in ourselves because of the CAPTCHA. And actually, a lot of people ran into that issue. A lot of people were not able to do the CAPTCHA properly. I saw this on the AOC channel. So that is maybe a pointer at like how unclear the CAPTCHA was. I did not try AI on this task. That probably would have made it a little easier, but I haven't even tried, honestly. I'm willing to give this one a bit of a half pass because, again, CAPTCHAs are things you see in real life and you should be able to show them here. That makes sense. But yeah, it wasn't accessible, unfortunately. I'm just pointing that out. Number 23, inaccessible VM. Yep, same deal. Number 23 was almost completely doable, actually. Number 23 was fine. The whole coercion flow worked, except it didn't work for me, but that's not an accessibility issue. Towards the end, you had to click a double-click a flag on the desktop and get its contents. We cannot do that because there is no audio on the virtual machines. Again, if you fix that, this whole entire task would be fine. Haven't fixed that yet, so it's still broken. Apart from that, it was perfectly doable. A lot of command line stuff. I like that task, actually. Last one, 24. Mobile analysis. You are on the naughty list, McGreedy. You are on the naughty list, TryHackMe, because what you did here is the exact same thing as the several other ones. Microsoft Windows machine, no audio, therefore no screen reader, therefore no access, therefore undoable. I had to go look at a video for this one, which was the final one. I was actually really looking forward to doing this one on video by myself, by my own merits, and I couldn't. So that was unfortunate, and it really shouldn't have happened. Yeah. So what do we learn from this? There's a couple of things that we can do to make this better. One, audio on the virtual machines, both Linux and Windows, which you can do because I'm pretty sure these use base VMs. So if you fix it in base VM, then any deployed version can also have it. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. If not, then I'm just horribly misunderstanding how TryHackMe works. But I'm pretty sure you can set in the Amazon's C2 or whatever uses it to to basically have audio working on the Windows and the Mac and the Linux side. Sorry, I'm losing my words here. So that is unfortunate. That should be better. When you work with files in a VM, when you work with a piece of evidence or a piece of file or a piece of malware or what have you, make it downloadable. It's not that hard. They're usually very small. Don't tell me that that's going to break the bank, like 50 megs of storage to sell a file somewhere. No, usually isn't the case, and I would like it to be the case because that means you can use it in your own workstation, which is what a lot of people want to do, including myself. Makes it more accessible. When you have a thing that does serve, that you have like that serves itself to the outside world, make it publicly accessible. There's no reason why that shouldn't work. You're not hacking the server, you're using the server to make a point. So you should easily be able to just make that reachable from your VPN or what have you, and then it works fine. That hasn't been done for Jupyter in this case, and a couple of other things also needed a bit of help. So that really wasn't necessary either. Make sure that that's fine. And the last one, alt text. There were several times where I saw nonsensical or non-existent alt text, particularly towards the last few days. That's not necessary either. I understand that it can be difficult to write alt text, but to leave it out entirely is usually not great. Particularly if it's important information, like that one image where the credentials for the SSH server were in a graphic image without alt text, which is, sorry, that's just unforgivable. So there you have it. That's really my retrospective. That's all the tasks we were having trouble with. And I hope that next year I can say in my Advent of Cyber 2024 videos that all of these things have been fixed and that TryHackMe is doing a fantastic job. But until then, please, guys,
Speech mode off.
try do better because you're on my naughty list. And I really hope I can take you off the naughty list next year. This has been me. This project is now finally actually done. I'm going to do something else with my life. I'm not sure what yet. Probably play games, because that's what I do on Twitch. Want to check me out, you can do that there. It's in the video description, all that, around the link. If you want to subscribe to more of this content, you can do that. I would love that. Be very happy to see that people like this content. I enjoy making it, but obviously it's not fun screaming into the voice. So if you do think it's important, you don't think it's like it's important, then if you want to see more of it, please subscribe. Click that notification bell. Put the comments, like, subscribe, all the bullshit that YouTubers say these days. And with that, I think that's me having waffled on for long enough. This has been the Advent of Cyber 2023 Accessibility Showcase by TryHackMe. I'm not affiliated by TryHackMe. I hope that my loads and loads of complaining will have pointed that out. I am not being paid to do this. I just did it out of voluntary because last year was a lot worse than it was this year. I will say that they have improved in that sense. I will also say that AI and OCR have gotten better, which made some of these a little bit less annoying than they would have been last year. Still though, there's a lot of stuff they can still do to make it work better, and it's not just the Advent of Cyber where they have stuff to do. It happens pretty often that I have to help some people out to start with the platform, and sometimes it's just inexcusably hard to start for people who use a screen reader or speech recognition software, anything of the sort, because there's just really silly small things that room creators, TryHackMe itself, can do to make this a lot better, and they're just not doing that. And that makes it very difficult to start on this platform, which it shouldn't be. Because honestly, I like the philosophy of the platform. I like the little tasks and the challenges. You can just do them and learn stuff that way. But I don't love it if I have to fight the platform. And that's what I've had to do for some of these tasks this year for the Advent of Cyber. So please, guys, do better. Get off my naughty list. I don't like you being on there. With that, I've been Florian, the blind decoding person. More coding, gaming streams, and hacking streams, or whatever it will be next year. I'm gonna take some time off from YouTube, probably. I'm gonna do some Twitch streams coming up. Probably tomorrow, hanging out some Twitch Christmas stuff. And I'll be back when I have something I think is YouTube worthy, which I don't know when that will be. But for now, I'm signing off. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Yuletide, or anything, whatever you celebrate, or just a super happy 24th and 25th of December, whenever you watch this. I'm out. See you next year. Goodbye.